All right, I'm Nick. Now, today we're going to take a few minutes, and hopefully that wind isn't causing too much of an audio problem. We're going to take a few minutes and we are going to compare the Sig P365 Fuse to the Smith & Wesson metal carry comp. Now, I don't personally think that these are comparable. Like, in my mind, they're two very different things, but I could see where or why someone would want to compare them. First off, we'll start with the weights of the gun. The metal carry comp is 6 ounces heavier than the P365 Fuse. The P365 Fuse is extremely skinny compared to the metal comp. Just a giant difference. For me, this is a duty pistol. This is a more of a concealed carry pistol with just a little bit longer barrel. They do have the ability to hold 17 rounds. If you put the 17 round magazine in the metal carry comp, they are about the same height. There's not much of a difference as far as height goes, and there's not much of a difference as far as length goes. Very, very close. Not too much of a difference there, okay? Now, when it comes down to how they shoot, the Smith & Wesson carry comp is a much flatter system. It has a comp in it. You get a better grip on the pistol. The grip is larger. It's just not that comparable, in my opinion. But we shot this yesterday. It's a great shooting pistol. It's just they're for two different tasks in my mind. Now, if you could only have one, the 365 Fuse is going to conceal better than this. Other things to consider is this will take a full-size dot. That's an RMR, Trijicon RMR, where this is a Sig, Romeo X Compact that came with it. So if you want a bigger window, well, then a bigger gun's going to do you better. If you want a compact dot, then that's going to do you better. If you don't care about a dot, well, that part's irrelevant, right? So we're going to shoot this. We shot that yesterday. I just don't think it's that much of a comparison. Obviously, this has ambi slide stop or slide release or whatever you want to call it. They're just different beasts, okay? So we're going to use the first-person POV. We are going to shoot those steel plates with this. We'll run 3 magazines through it, and we'll talk about it a bit more. But not too much of a comparison. Also to consider, this is a 23-round magazine. The extended round magazines for the Fuse are only 21. There is that. That may matter to you. It may not. They're both fine pistols. I just believe they're for two very different things. Now, I do prefer the slide serrations on a 365 than to this, but that's not that important either. They're just not comparable. This thing is flatter, it shoots softer, it is harder to rack than that, which is also not a big deal. That's just something someone may notice. Trigger-wise, I prefer this trigger to that trigger. They're just two different beasts, all right? Now, you can shoot it slow. If you shoot it slow, you can see the recoil. It'll recoil pretty high, right? But if you're actually running the gun, you can keep that bad boy nice and flat and go to town. Now, that's one thing to consider. When you drop that in there, you have to run the gun. The Fuse will drop the slide by itself. You got to be used to this weapon systems that you're using. You'll be able to go faster with this if you shoot it a lot. Now, we shot that yesterday, so going back and forth was kind of weird. But, oh. It's just a bigger system. It works better. Now, it's kind of weird shooting this grip with that trigger. I usually shoot it with an Apex trigger, so it kind of feels a little funny in my hand. I just can't compare them. I don't know how to compare them. I don't think that they're comparable. In my mind, they're for two different things. If you want to conceal it or carry it on your waist or anything like that, I would rather carry this. I would rather carry the Fuse. This is a duty pistol, maybe a home defense pistol, maybe just a range toy that you want to get all nice and put a better trigger in it, and then just go to the range and run through some steel. And that's everyone's preference is different, okay? For me, it is fun to shoot, but they just serve two different purposes. Now, obviously, I struggle sometimes to talk to the camera and shoot, but if you're only focused on shooting, this thing is fire. It's a tough comparison for me, okay? Not that I'm saying that one is better than the other, because I don't think that they are better than the other. I just think that they have two different jobs. For me, this is a much more practical everyday carry. It's a much more practical, I'm going to do some work outside around the property. I put this bad boy in that holster. It's gone. It weighs 20 ounces with the red dot and no ammo. This weighs 26 with the red dot and no ammo and no magazine. It's just tough to compare it, okay? I'm not saying that either of them are better. I just think that this is a better duty pistol. I think if you're left-handed, you could run the gun better with this if you want to use that to drop the slide. I don't. I typically just run the gun. That's it, man. You asked for it. You wanted to see it. Both great guns. Now, they both have had their problems, too. There have been plenty of people report having problems with this pistol. One of the things that happens with it, and you probably won't be able to see it well, maybe you'll be able to see it through this camera, is when you pull the trigger, this one doesn't do it at all. Some folks, you can see it a little bit, the slide lock is moving up just a little bit. See how it just went up right there? And sometimes when the gun runs, that will come back and it will get caught on that from it going up. There, it is easier to see it like that. So every gun, every manufacturer, they're all still having problems with quality control. There's no exception there. We're rambling. That's your comparison. If you have other questions about it, let me know. Trigger's better in the Smith & Wesson Carry Comp. That's a big plus for it. I don't know. It's a tough comparison. Thanks for watching.